Hi, I'm Jada. I'm the virtual assistant for the Ultimate Economic Hedge webinar. I will be your host. First, we would like to thank you for your interest in our webinar. We sincerely appreciate you taking time out of your schedule to be with us in this venue. Today, you will be introduced to some concepts. These concepts will hopefully open your eyes to some injustices that you have been forced to suffer. We want to help you break free from psychological programming that has set you up to fail in life. Next, I would like to start off by asking you a group of questions. When you answer these questions, please be honest. Answer to yourself, or write your answer down on a piece of paper. I'll give you a few seconds to go get something to take notes on. Ready? Go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's get started. Questions. Do you have debt? Any kind of debt, credit card debt, student loan debt, mortgage debt, or a car note? No matter how much money you make, does it feel like you cannot make ends meet? Do you find most of your money going to bills and taxes? Is it harder and harder to pay for everyday necessities like transportation, food, utilities, and even education, even though you work hard and work more hours if necessary? Do you find yourself hopelessly trying to save money for retirement? If you said yes to any one of these things, or all of these things, then you are an economic slave. Yes, I said, economic slave. Continue to listen and I'll explain why. Now, really think about this next question. If you had to retire next year, would you have enough money saved, or passive income to sustain you for the next 20 years at your current level of expenses? If you said no, then everything you have been taught about education, career and retirement has failed you to this point. I don't mean to sound like a pessimist, but if you don't have these two things in your favor now, you are doomed to fail financially. You are an economic slave. And by passive income, I don't mean Social Security, or a pension from a job. I'm talking about savings or income not related to your job or the government. Like most of you probably are right now, our company president, Miles Tyrone Leader, has followed the infamous path of the middle-class Americans called the rat race. That is until he discovered a better way, which I will share in a moment. By definition, the rat race is an endless, self-defeating, or pointless pursuit. It is often compared to the literal depiction of a lab rat trying to escape something while running around in a maze or wheel. The figurative representation of the rat race is summed up in 4 words: taxes, debt, inflation and retirement. Unlike other people whose rat race usually starts out of college, our president's rat race started fresh out of high school. Everybody's rat race starts with empty promises. People tell you if you follow these rules, go to college, get good grades, get a good job and work hard, you will make a lot of money, be successful and retire in 20 years. Those empty promises turn into fallacies that you hold true, because you were taught that they were sound fundamentals. You become so accustomed to proving them to be right, that you don't realize these rules are actually what's keeping you broke. These rules become old habits and become part of who you are. And the problem with habits is that they are hard to break. Mr. Leader's promises were: 1. Joining the military would pay for his education and provide great opportunity. 2. A college education would ensure his future, and 3. Working hard would ensure his success. The fallacies of those promises were: 1. By signing up with the military, he could get a lot of money for school. And, being an only child, he wouldn't have to go overseas, especially while he was attending school. 2. By going to college, he would have more opportunities than non-college graduates and make more money. 3. By working hard, he would get noticed, get promotions and would move up in the ranks in whatever career he chooses. So the myths turned out to be: 1. The military would cover his full tuition and he wouldn't have to leave school to go overseas. Fact. Joining the military only paid for a portion of this tuition, and he still had to pay for his books. He could have worked a regular job and still made more money than he got from the GI Bill. And, he was forced to leave school to fight in Operation Iraqi Freedom for 1 year. 2. College would ensure his future. Fact. His college education only ensured that he would leave college with thousands in student loan debt, and no guaranteed job. His business ensured his future. College may have just sparked that entrepreneurial spirit he has. And a lot of people he knew who didn't go to, or finish, college, made at least $5,000 to $10,000 more than he did at his highest salary. 3. Working hard for other people would ensure his success. Fact. From his military service to his service to the city of New York, he worked hard. In the end, it was his own thirst for knowledge and business spirit that allowed him to fulfill his true potential of first pursuing music and then eventually investing in real estate, stocks and other financial assets. Working hard for himself allowed him more opportunity than any job he ever held. Allow me to give you some facts. The fact of the matter is that, no matter how much college education you get, no matter how hard you work for someone, you will always face the 4 economic forces working against you. These forces are taxes, debt, inflation and retirement. These forces are the reason that working harder and getting more college education won't make you successful. To break it down for you, A. Taxes are a fee citizens pay to the government for being productive. The government doesn't pay you for being a productive citizen. You pay the government if you are a productive citizen. The government pays the people who aren't productive for their lack of productivity. These people can be the unemployed, welfare and food stamp recipients, private sector retirees, that is, those who receive Social Security benefits, government retirees, or anyone who receives a paycheck or assistance from the government. Taxes transfer wealth from workers to the government, non-producing government jobs and unproductive people. Please, don't take this as bashing of anyone who falls in these groups. That's not the intention here. I'm just educating you on the economics. This is fact, not opinion. B. Debt is the cost or financial obligation you incur to consume goods and services in the present that you cannot realistically afford. You borrow from a source to finance something you want, but do not have the full amount to buy it free and clear. This cost is realized in the form of interest you pay to the bank or lender. As you work hard to pay off your debt, you are making someone else rich. Wealth is being transferred from you in the future, so you can consume today. C. Inflation is a hidden tax on the savings of the middle class. Inflation steals wealth from the people, and transfers that wealth to the banks and the financial sectors. It reduces what is called your purchasing power, making everyday goods and services cost more. D. Retirement is basically the hope of saving enough money to live on, so you can stop working after so many years and still live comfortably. Well, here's some stats for you. According to a 2012 report from the Center for Retirement Research, at Social Security's earliest retirement age of 62, only about 30% of households are prepared for retirement. By age 66, Social Security's current full retirement age, about 55% of households are projected to be prepared for retirement. This figure includes the 30% already prepared by age 62. At the retirement age of 70, about 86% of households are prepared for retirement. Taxes, debt, inflation and retirement. Every economic slave works harder to pay for these forces, but they end up with less money and less purchasing power the harder they work. This, my friend, is the rat race. Because working harder has its limits, this is a self-defeating pursuit. You can only work so many hours in a day or week and move but so fast. Watch just how these forces can affect you. This is for illustration purposes only. If you earn $1,500 in a paycheck, you are only taking home about $1,100 after taxes. If you have any substantial debt like student loans or high credit card balances, let's say you pay about $150 per month. Now your cash is down to $950. Now let's assume that your $950 from this year only purchases $931 worth of goods and services from last year. That is a $19, or 2%, loss of purchasing power that you didn't even notice due to inflation. Although most retirement plans are pre-tax, we'll assume you are just saving money in the bank for retirement. If you are putting away $200 per paycheck away in savings, that brings your remaining cash down to $750. Not only is that $200 cash unavailable for use now, but it loses value every year through inflation. For the purpose of this example, your $750 loses 2% of its value due to more inflation. The new value of your $1,500 worth of labor is $735. You have paid everyone else $765 before you even saw any benefit from your hard work and labor. And you still haven't even paid your other expenses. Let's finish this example. If gas is $100, electricity is $100, cable, Internet and phone service is $100 and you are renting a really cheap apartment at $400, you are only left with $50 from a $1,500 check. This is how much your time was worth and you have nothing left to show for it. Now, assuming you paid all of your bills in this one paycheck, you may have your next paycheck to have some fun with. But we still haven't factored in other expenses such as transportation costs, food, and miscellaneous expenses. Put your own price on those items. Do you see the rat race at work here? How do you correct such an atrocity? That's easy, with real financial education. And not just financial education that tells you to start a business or invest. Anyone can say that, and it's a given fact. I'm talking about education that consists of basic economics and monetary information. I know. It's like, whoa. Hold up just 1 second. Do I really have to learn economics and monetary whatever? Well, yes and no. If you really want to understand how the four forces actually affect you, so you can use them to build a financial fortress, then yes, you need to learn. However, if you wish to attempt to build a financial fortress out of sticks, instead of steel, then no, you don't need to learn. But, when I mention economics and monetary information, I am not talking about some sleep-inducing, complicated-sounding, boring government-style briefing, or mainstream media spin on it. I'm talking about comprehensible and applicable information that will spark your interest and open your eyes. This information can be implemented the moment you finish writing your last note. What kind of information are we talking about? Income-generating information, asset protection information, and wealth-building information. We are offering you this information and a genuine opportunity to A. Build wealth by knowing how to generate income, increase your net worth and create and protect assets from all internal and external forces, from foundation to fruition. B. Seize power by gaining control over your income, your time and your value. Through applied knowledge, you will become a master of your environment. C. Achieve freedom by breaking free from the social, psychological and economic shackles placed on you by society and the system. No longer being restrained, controlled or limited by economics, monetary policy or social class. So, how do I get the opportunity to have all of these wonderful things, you ask? Attend our Ultimate Economic Hedge class, webinar, and we will educate you, empower you and enhance you, with over 6 years of intense research and business investing experience. You will learn how to apply the following strategies. 1. Incorporation. Learning how to properly protect your assets. 2. Capital gains. Learning how to pick an investment and generate income from each transaction. 3. Passive income. Learning how to create a passive monthly income from one transaction. 4. Compounded returns. Learning how to substantially and exponentially increase your value with one secret strategy. 5. Hyperinflation hedge. Learn how to protect your savings and purchasing power. 6. Value appreciation. Learn how to increase the value of your holdings with a tax-free strategy. 7. Family banking system. Learn how to create your own private bank. I just want to let you know, this is not a smoke and mirror presentation. This is all real, legitimate and official information. Best of all, whatever success you achieve will have nothing to do with us. You will reap 100% of the benefits of your efforts. There are no pyramid schemes, or so-called business opportunities here. However, you will be able to gain unlimited access to our full information as well as have unlimited correspondence with our company president, if you happen to have any questions. We are simply providing you the opportunity to build something real, attainable and sustainable. Since your level of success is dependent on you actually implementing the strategies we teach you, we cannot guarantee you any level of success. However, we can guarantee you will walk away from our presentation with information you can begin implementing immediately. So, purchase access to our Ultimate Economic Hedge class, webinar, now. What does it cost, you ask? Well, I'm glad you asked that question. You will not pay $5,000 for this class, webinar. You won't even shell out $1,000. No, you won't pay $500 either. Because we want to make this as affordable as possible without losing any money on our end, we are offering this incredible class, webinar for only $199.99. Yes, just under $200 can afford you the opportunity to learn all 7 strategies of the Ultimate Economic Hedge. But, you have to take action now. Seats are limited, and it may be a while before we make this offer again. So, act quickly, and lock in your spot now before they are all filled up. We want to thank you for attending our free webinar. We hope you found this helpful and informative. See you soon in the Ultimate Economic Hedge class webinar. Once again, I am Jada, Virtual Assistant for the Ultimate Economic Hedge webinar.